Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is September 16th, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. There's Washington, Oregon. Check out the spin in the atmosphere. This upper level low that's been with us for a couple days is going to be with us for at least a couple more. And if you see this out over the Pacific Ocean, the Gulf of Alaska, this next storm system is already developing, and this is going to slam into the Pacific Northwest here as well. We'll look at those details here as we go through the video this morning. We'll also take a look at the ever-changing extended forecast as well. Now, taking a look at what happened yesterday, I'm going to scroll all the way back towards yesterday morning and put this into motion. You see the thunderstorm develop initially, come across California, portions of Nevada, that moves up into Oregon, Idaho, goes through the overnight hours, and on in towards this morning. As you can still see the spin in the atmosphere, this is going to bring multiple rounds of rain and some thunderstorm activity here today and tomorrow, all the way up across western Montana, Idaho, and Oregon. If you look out the Washington-Oregon coast, largely clear right now. There is some marine layer in towards western Washington. You can see it pushed into some of the valley areas, carved out into the Cascades there, a little bit across some of the Willamette Valley as well. And then you can see the cloud shield here out across Pacific Ocean, making its way into the Pacific Northwest very shortly. I've got a store also attached to the page here, and I've done some designs, and I'll show you some of the items here in a moment. But you can even request stuff, and I can, make these designs and put them on gear. And some of this stuff I buy myself as well. It's very comfortable. Like this hoodie I've had for over 2 years, and I wear it all the time. High quality stuff. I mean, it might be a little pricey. I don't know what the prices are exactly right now, but you can see it's got my gear on it here, and you can customize it and put whatever you want on. I've got a lot of different designs you can throw on there. And my son only wears these shirts now, these moisture wicking t-shirts. I wear them also. They are very comfortable, and again, you can put whatever design I have on there you'll want. So it should be right below the video there if you want to click on one of those items. So anyway, taking a look at the thunderstorm outlook for today, you can see that it does include eastern Oregon, Idaho, and Montana here, just off to the east of Pendleton and Spokane, but it does include Boise, Butte, and Missoula, Montana. Now, if we take a look at day 2, that upper level low is still going to be with us, and then it does include Spokane as we go on in through tomorrow. And then we're going to bring a thunderstorm threat as we go with the next system as well. And I'll show you more on that here in a moment. And I just happen to click on the tornado threat there, that it does include some portions of northeast Montana for tomorrow as well. Now, gusty winds Monday and Tuesday. This is eastern Washington. You can see the winds are going to be picking up as we go through Tuesday. Look at Ellensburg, perhaps gusting up into the 40s. You get some blowing dust or some blowing leaves out there and whatnot. And you'll notice that difference here as you go on in through Tuesday versus what's going on today, Monday. And this is for Medford, Oregon, with that upper level low, talking about some quick shifting winds, some cloud to ground lightning, and of course the wetting rains. Mother Nature is a firefighter with this upper level low. She is helping to put out some of these very active fires across Pacific Northwest, and with the next system rolling in here as well, hopefully we can put an end to our fire season by the time we move on in towards the fall months. And I wanted to point this out for Boise. There's a hydraulic outlook here. They're just talking about the numerous storms across the region today, possible heavy rain and burn scar areas. Could be under the gun here, State Highway 21 and the Wapiti fire area as well. So yeah, you got to watch out for mudslides and debris flows if you are in and around some of those burn scar areas. Now, looking at Seattle yesterday on the 15th, we were 64 degrees. Again, 8 degrees below average. 0.02 of an inch of rain officially in the bucket, 0.39 so far this year. A little bit more will be coming in here, and then potentially much more on through the extended forecast, so stay tuned for that. And again, I've been pushing this weather station here. I highly recommend it. You can just watch this thing update in real time on your phone or any web page that you are on. Tells you when it starts raining, does UV index, has a lightning detection system, pressure, and temperature. So go ahead and click on that link down below if you want to save 10% off on that. Now, looking at what's going on here, this is at 500 millibars, 18,000 feet. So start to take a look at things. This is the upper level low. It's going to be with us, slow moving. It's going to hang out all the way on into the day tomorrow at least as well. Then this one kind of drops in, takes its place, moves a bit further south. Then we get a tiny bit of a transient ridge here, but then we've got another short wave moving through British Columbia. And we look off in towards next weekend, and what was showing up as ridging here pretty persistently in some of the models is now starting to back off a bit. As you can see, this next trough coming right at the end of last night's European model run. More on that here in a moment. But first, let's take a look at what the Doppler radar may look like over the next 60 hours. This is Monday morning. Let's put this into motion. And you can see the wraparound moisture in this upper level low going to be spinning some thunderstorms, prolific lightning producers potentially across Oregon, Idaho, and portions of Montana over the next couple of days. Slow moving, not going anywhere quick. And then you can see as we go through the day Tuesday, it's going to be hitting Vancouver Island first, then the Washington coastline. And some of the best dynamics might actually be moving into Oregon. There's thunderstorm potential with this as we go through Tuesday afternoon along the Oregon coast especially as well. And then you can see that system kind of pivot down and start to include portions of California. Then we get a little bit of a break here as we watch to see what is to come next. Now, taking a look at the high resolution model, I just want to kind of show you that lightning threat as we go through the afternoon today. And we go through the overnight hours, still continuing with the upper level low spinning. Then you see the next system starting to arrive here, and you can't rule out a thunderstorm along some of the coastal areas. But again, the big lightning producers should be across the interior areas. You can clearly see the spin in the atmosphere as we go through Tuesday and on in through Tuesday night into very early Wednesday morning. Now, total precipitation in inches, we're going to run through this as well. This goes out 60 hours, but you can see multiple rounds of precipitation, really good for some of these fire areas across Oregon, Idaho, where just some significant amounts of smoke were being produced, up across Montana, where there's drought concerns. And then the next system brings measurable precipitation in to the coastal areas, Oregon, and maybe clipping some of Seattle here as well. I'll take a look at the European model on that in a moment, but look at some of these precipitation totals across Oregon, Idaho, and Montana. Very notable and very beneficial. Now, this is the European, this is last night's run, so I'm going to scroll through this pretty quickly. You can kind of see the similarities between the North American model. This one kind of clips Seattle with about another 1/10 of an inch coming up here. And Oregon, kind of a hit and miss there. But you see at the end of the run, that next system rolling in, you can kind of see it's almost got like an atmospheric river look. So maybe better precipitation amounts with that storm. But we still got a little bit of disagreement, and I'll show you what I mean here in a moment. Let's look at the GFS that is hot off the press of the 12Z run. It is running as we speak, so I just hit refresh. It'll show us the most recent data. There's that upper level low, the secondary shot right there, transient ridge, short wave through British Columbia, and then this system here is the one we're watching. Looks like it was a little bit stronger on the European, but the GFS does show something trying to swing through here as we go towards the weekend. And then, we've got this cat and mouse game here, this ridging versus this troughing over the Gulf of Alaska. Like the troughing wants to win out here for the Pacific Northwest. That'd be a strong moist flow into the west coast of North America. Trying to get a little more confidence before we get too excited about that, but that could be a pretty intense precipitation maker, especially for September. So we're going to be watching that one closely. And in fact, that makes me want to go ahead and do this and click on last night's European model run. And we're going to go back to the 0Z because it goes out 240 hours. So we're going to scroll through that again and kind of see what kind of similarities we have. There's our secondary shot, good model agreement there. Transient ridge tries to build, short wave moves through, and then we got this troughing, and the European does show it kind of building here as we go through the weekend. And then you can see the Gulf of Alaska. That would bring a strong moist flow into the Pacific Northwest as well. So there is something to that here. So we'll be watching that closely. More on that here as we go through tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see how the models trend with that troughing over the Gulf of Alaska, especially the proximity pretty close to western BC there, which would target the Pacific Northwest with some pretty hefty precipitation amounts. Now, looking at smoke, so again, like I said, Mother Nature is a firefighter here with these upper level lows. I mean, producing copious amounts of precipitation should really be helping out, but it still shows some smoke flaring off of some of these fires as we go through Tuesday afternoon. But hopefully that secondary system can really start to dampen these fires, and the one that's spinning over top of much of the west here right now should really be helping with that. Now let's take a look at the European artificial intelligence. This was last night's run. Just want to make sure that was fully updated. There goes the upper level low there, the secondary shot, transient ridge, short wave here. Then what happens after that is very important. And it's weaker on the 06Z European model here. So we don't want to get too crazy with that hype just yet. But you can see as we go way off into the extended, it does show a stronger Gulf of Alaska trough here setting up. That would be a warm, moist flow back into the Pacific Northwest. 6 to 10 day, what does it say? Kind of a mixed bag here as we go through 21st through 25th. There's still a lot of model disagreement on what is to come. Kind of that mixed bag here. Interior areas below, coastal areas above. Who knows? Flip a coin right now. It'll be interesting to look at what happens with tomorrow's runs, because as you saw, the GFS and the European are kind of showing it here. So confidence is increasing a little bit with that activity. Now, taking a look, the channel's doing quite well. Again, none of this is possible without you guys. You can see we've picked up almost 2,000 subscribers over the last 28 days, and this is just, kind of typical summertime stuff here. I think the channel might really go wild here as we go through the fall and the winter months. I think there might be an outside chance if we get some really active weather, we might even be able to hit 100,000 subscribers. as we go through before the end of the year wraps up here. I mean, with a nice windstorm, maybe a snowstorm, who knows, maybe some atmospheric river events and whatnot. And the cool thing about YouTube here is you can go back and actually look out 90 days. You can see 90 days ago we were at 63,000, so almost 8,000, over 8,000 subscribers in the last 90 days. And you can also go back and look at the last 365 days where we were a year ago, and you can see 47,000. So look at that. What is that? 24,000 subscribers we picked up in the last year officially. And then you can go back and even look at the lifetime graph, and you can see when I started the channel back in June of 2021, and then we got some winter weather in December of 2021 that actually helped out with the channel and got it growing early. And then, you know, kind of that slow, steady, organic growth. That's when I started to introduce the California stuff here. But yeah, it's been a fun, wild ride here. And again, much thanks to all my monetarily supporting members of the page as well. Again, none of this is possible without you guys. My daily viewers are checked back every single day. Much thanks to you all. So anyway, yeah, I'm excited to look at the models here as we go through the day today. We'll report back again tomorrow morning. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I will talk to you guys later.